してるより愛してることを伝える言葉がないのは
Well, hello there. I'm doing a video today on extreme heat camping, and I'm going to pull out all my tents, so we're going to start all the tent stuff. Yay! But what this video is about is, you can't help it if all of a sudden you have to be somewhere and it's going to be really hot for a day or two. I get it, you climb in elevation, but even so, sometimes it's not possible. So we're going to go over how I packed my van. First, I'm going to show you pictures. Then I'm going to take you out to the van. Now, if you remember, about a month and a half ago, I was in St. George, and I really wanted to travel with my clam tent. But that thing is so massive, I couldn't figure it out. So what I did was I moved my drawers forward, making sure that I could open both drawers on each side. And of course, it's hard to see. That's why I'm going to take you outside. But I wanted to do a little series, and I'm going to call it Extreme Heat Camping. I stay really, really cool in my van. And people are like, how do you do that? And this is why the little pictures and everything is because I can't show you some of the stuff. If I open the sliding door, you're not going to see my super duper heat insulated curtains, right? All right, so here we have Mr. Sun, and it beats down hard on my van. And I need the sun because up here I have my solar roof, and I also have a 100-watt panel that I like to charge up. So my van has to sit in the sun. There's no way about it. I got to do it. So the question is, the van sits in the sun. How do you keep the van cool? That's the million-dollar question, isn't it? And can you keep the van cool? A lot of the times I can keep very cool inside while it's beating down outside. And I've said it before. Now, I have two sides of my van. I park it so when the sun rises in the morning, it's going to beat down on the rear of my van. Why? Because that's where my refrigerator's at, so it's not going to take a lot of heat. But I have layers upon layers there to keep that heat out. And then as it goes around the side of my van, we got a lot of insulation in there. And then finally when it sets, it's going to set at the front of my van. So what I'm going to talk to you about today is this is all day long. That sun beats down on the side of my van. How do I prevent it? All right. Sometimes what I do, most of the time it's not necessary unless it's like 95 degrees out. All right. So there's the little wheels of my van. I have a little silver reflective tarp that I just clamp onto my roof rack right up there and use some tent poles, and I'll show you how I do that in a future video. The problem with me is I have so many things to show you, but this little reflective tarp, that really keeps the sun from beating down. But that's just one layer. If you're going outside and it's cold out, you wear layers, right? So I do not have this, but it's a good idea. Some people have perforated vinyl. And what that is that goes on the exterior of your van windows, and that keeps it very cool. But I have in mine window tint. Now, I could do both. I could do the window tint and the perforated vinyl, but I have so many projects, I don't have time for it. Why the perforated vinyl and the window tint? Because heat comes through the glass. What else does it say? All right, heat does come through the glass. That's why the window tint. And see my videos. Which videos are we talking about? I'm talking about, I am so impressed with these. I play with my little heat gun all the time, and it's like, I can't believe it's keeping it that cool. So it's called the Best Heat Blocking Super Insulated Window Coverings. And it really does reduce the temperature 25 to 50 degrees. That is amazing. The way to keep the interior cool is to not let it come in at all, right? Don't let that heat in. All right, so I have my super duper insulated blackout window coverings. Yes, I'm losing it. And then I put in a layer of blackout curtains. Why? Because I'm creating air gaps. Every time I can slow it down a couple of degrees from getting in. Air gap, air gap, air gap. Then I have a layer of stuff. What kind of stuff do I put in there? All right, so I'll just put this right up here. extra sleeping bags, my dirty laundry. This is my camping and my prep stuff. And then over here I have my solar stuff and my roller skates and stuff like that there. So that creates another layer, and I'm going to show you this a little bit better, because you really can't see it outside. I'm going to go pull everything out, but you won't be able to see it. All right, so on the bottom I had those stow and go seats, everything taken out. So down on the bottom I have all my prepping supplies, from water filtration to extra food. We'll go over that box. On top of that, I have that huge clam tent, and that takes up a lot of space. How much space does it take up? And I always travel with my clam. This is my little hydraulic tent, and the problem with that, it sets up in 5 seconds, and you know, it doesn't make a long video. And then I have a camping chair, and on top of that, I keep all my solar ovens. Let me tell you about my little hydraulic tent. So I was at this campground a couple of weeks ago, and the woman, it's like $8 for tent camping, fine. And she's like, well, you don't have a tent. And I think I already paid, and I'm out all day. If it's 100 degrees, I'm going to be in a casino, in a mall, somewhere all day. So when I get there at 9 o'clock, she drives up in her little car, and she goes, oh, no, you're in the tent camping section. If you don't have a tent, you have to go into overflow. And overflow is basically for car camping, but you don't get a picnic table. You don't get, you know, I mean, you get to walk to the bathrooms further and everything, the trash and everything. And I'm like, you know what? Give me 5 seconds. I'll have my tent out there. And she's like, what? And it's like, no. I'm going to stay in the tent camping section. It's like, why not? Why would you want the overflow car camping section? So that's what I did. And she said, you know what? You can stay there. It's 9 o'clock at night. And she already knew my routine. I come in at 9 and I leave at 6 in the morning. All right. So what happens after I have all my stuff? I have a double layer of Reflectix. And I used Gorilla Tape and stuck it to the back of my cabinets, because my final layer of insulation is my big cabinets. And, you know, everything. Like I said, what is that? Like 7 layers? I'm going to have to count this. All right, I'm going to take you outside and try to show you what I'm talking about. What I have is my heat shield on, and the sun's going to set directly there. But not only do I have my heat shield on, but just as a pocketed bear, I have one of these too. Doesn't help, it doesn't hurt, right? All right, so this is my driver's window, and I have my big super duper insulated thing, and that really blocks out the heat. Window tinted, and I was just in a big sandstorm. I know I always say keep it clean, right? All right, these are my roof racks, and it goes all the way to the back to where I can clamp on. Get those big clamps over at Harbor Freight, clamp on my silver Reflectix tarp. All right, this side is the same thing. The wind, oh my gosh, that's hot. I got to do one. I can't do one because I can't get to the inside of the window. But my super duper thing is right in there and right in there. Now, if you are asked, do I ever open that? No, because I never open the rear ones. It only opens like that much. It's sort of stupid. But I have my super duper heat insulated things right there. Now I'm going to open it up. All right. And, yay! These are my roller skates that block stuff. This is my big solar panel, little solar panel. This is a blackout curtain. And you can see right here, that's it's a double layer of Reflectix, and right there's my cabinet. Ooh, I got to fix that. All right, well, things I need to fix. But see, the carpet and everything is stopping that evil heat from coming in. Let's open it up, see what we got. All right, up here, this big black thing, that is my super insulated heat thingy. And these are curtains. I probably have like 3 or 4 levels of curtains right there because my refrigerator is right there and I don't want it to get hot. All right, and this is all my camping stuff. So I'm gonna drive right here, and this is between my cabinets and the sun side of the vehicle. So what do I have? I could put these up. These are a couple of heat shields. So that's how I pack that there. Here's my camping chair. I have my hiking sticks. and my hiking poles. Now we're going to be precious. This is my Ghost Sun oven. Very delicate. You don't drop this thing. Hydraulic tent, tail veil, which I don't carry the tail veil with me, and the clam tent. Now this is my little prepper's pack. My clam tent fit right on top of it, and it just went smoothly onto the floor over there. So this supports the weight, and I will get into my prepper's pack. Right, prosthetic shoes and cookie mix. All this parks rides really well behind that one little area of space I meant. But you can see, look how big the clam is, and that's my little hydraulic tent right next to it. This is in case I'm on BLM, and we know what that is. This is luggage, so when I have to go to a hotel room, it has wheels and everything, so I can just put my clothes and stuff in that. This is the tail veil. We're going to set that up, but I don't love it. My big Ghost Sun solar oven, very delicate, an extra umbrella, heat shields, my chair over there in the green, and my walking stick. I get all that way back in that little spot. And why do I keep it here? Because this is not my daily stuff. I keep all my daily stuff inside the van, and my stuff that I use every once in a while in the back.
愛してるより愛してることを